Hey readers, writers, and story lovers. My name is Hannah. I publish as HS Paisley. And today I want to take a moment to rant a little bit about Loki. On my other channel, Hannah's Overinvested, I have several videos about WandaVision, one about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and this I think is going to be the only one that I talk about Loki. I really love the MCU. I haven't read the comic books. I've seen all the movies. For the most part, like, I can really enjoy them even if they're not the best. I mean, I don't know. How do we feel about Thor: The Dark World? You know, like, I don't think they're all phenomenal movies, but I think I can pretty much enjoy, maybe not Iron Man 3, but most of them. And these shows have been no different. I really, really love Falcon and the Winter Soldier. There were things that I did really like about WandaVision, and I do have a full video on my other channel how I would rewrite the entire season. I can't remember if I put that on this channel or not. Either way, I'll link it above. So I was really excited, but also very apprehensive for Loki, because I felt like so many like there had been so many backslides in his character development throughout the movies that I didn't want more sad boy Loki. You know, I was like, man, I have seen so much sad boy Loki. I don't need more sad boy Loki. The first episode of the show, for the first 80% of the episode, I was actually quite bored and disappointed. But in the last 20% of the episode, I felt it really, really picked up. And something that I didn't like right off the bat was that Loki just like didn't have his powers, which is fine. I get it. I just felt that he was such a force to be reckoned with in a lot of the movies. But I like I said, I get it because they wanted to show the strength of the TVA. So like, cool, it bugged me, but I understand it for the storytelling purposes, totally fine. Episode 2, I really, really enjoyed, and the whole buddy cop thing with Owen Wilson I thought was phenomenal. When Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson were on screen together, I loved it. I don't think there was a single scene with the two of them that I did not enjoy. Episode 3 was horrible, right? Did any of us like that episode? It really felt like filler. I didn't love it. And episode 4, like, we get a little bit more Owen Wilson, Tom Hiddleston, so I was okay with that. Episode 5, again, filler-y, but oh my god. Old man Loki. Whoo! When he was like, ah! Smoke monster guy. Ah! I was so fired up. I was like on my couch yelling at my TV like, ah! Yo, that was so epic. Is there a more epic death for a character that we've known for 38 seconds than old Loki? He was so good. He was so good. Bringing this whole rant back to character development, in that episode, we saw the President Loki guy. And to me, that's who Loki was at the end of the 2012 Avengers when he stole the Tesseract and got taken out of the timeline. The guy we watched for most of this season was the Loki who had gone through the character development of all of the movies. And I get what the writers were trying to do by having him watch this film reel of his life and achieve in a second the character development that it took them multiple movies to achieve and have us really believe. And that just didn't work for me. When he was in the memory loop with Sif, I think that spot where he was apologizing to her and getting kicked in the balls over and over again, like, it was funny. It got old kind of quick for me. I think it would have been a better writing tool if in that he was having to live his life over and over and over again. You know, especially in a world where time can mean nothing and everything, to have him in this pocket where by the time Owen Wilson comes to get him, he has had to live his life 50 times, you know? Or even twice or one time. I just feel like watching a film reel of your life would not be enough to create the character development that we saw over the movies. And I think that's part of the reason why most of the show fell flat for me, is because I was so distracted by the fact that this wasn't Loki from 2012. And that was the guy that I kind of wanted to see a little bit more of, at least in the beginning of the show, because right away he was a marshmallow. And don't get me wrong, I love me some marshmallows. I am a marshmallow. But Loki in 2012 was not a friggin' marshmallow. He was an asshole. Either they should have pulled him from a different point in the timeline, they should have found another way to develop his character, or like even just the choice of memory could have been different that would have developed him at a faster rate. No, that's not true. I still think my memory loop, my life loop. He should have been in a life loop. Just over and over and over again. Can you imagine that? And just not being able to make any different decisions? You know, kind of stuck in the same decisions. Like he could be there talking, but everybody else is just moving around him exactly the same as they did as we saw in the movies. Owen Wilson approaching him after something like that would have been more impactful than him apologizing to Sif one time and it working. The finale episode itself, I thought was like, okay, I am interested to see where it goes. I felt like when we had the reveal at the end of Owen Wilson not knowing who he was, I thought that was great. And him looking at the statue and that really reminded me of the end of the Mark Wahlberg Planet of the Apes with Abe Lincoln. You guys remember that? What a movie. Have you watched that movie recently? What a trip watching that movie now is. I thought that the entire romance, if you want to call it that, was so forced. Like, why? Why did it have to be romantic? It's kind of just like masturbation when you're doing it with yourself. That kiss was so uncomfortable. It might as well have been Kylo Ren and Rey kissing. Was equally as horrible as Loki making out with him herself. All that said, I really look forward to what they're going to do with it. I really look forward to season 2. There were definitely, like, episode 3 was so poorly done. I just felt like that time was quite wasted for what we got out of it. That would have been a great opportunity to develop character, and I don't feel that they did. I know they tried to make a connection between Sylvie and Loki, and that just wasn't effective for me. So for me, that episode fell quite flat. Hopefully we'll be getting some cool stuff. I haven't watched Black Widow yet. I will. I kind of feel mixed going into that. Again, like, the romances in these movies are brutal, right? Like, why did a Black Widow Hulk relationship happen? Why did that happen? Why didn't a Black Widow Falcon relationship happen?
How you doing?
Hey.
And that's what I wanted to see. I want to be surprised, and I'm not. I'm not really surprised much with this stuff anymore, which is a bit of a bummer. I still love it. I just want to love it more. You know, I want to love it because it's so great, not because it's superheroes. Anyways, what did you guys think of Loki if you've watched it? What do you think of my idea of his life loop? Do you have any characters that you're writing and that you're struggling to write? Character development is always tricky, and I think that it kind of fell flat with Loki because we had these two different versions of the same character. If you're writing and you're having some issues with character development, try and think about where you want your character to go emotionally, and maybe think about situations where you have changed emotionally and what brought you to that change, and then think about those things within the context of your character's world. I don't really think that the guy we met in 2012 would watch a movie about his life and completely change his character, but that's just me. Alright, I'm done rambling and ranting, and I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and hydrated. Go get some water, you're probably dehydrated.